Amy here, just answering a question that was submitted to Ask Amy. This question came from Rivi, and Rivi says, how do I fit in with other people? My answer for you, Rivi, would be, you probably are asking the wrong question because you really don't need to fit in. In fact, as a young adult, it's better for you to stand out than to fit in. All the books that I've read about getting a job after college and of course going through that myself and all of those sorts of things, I think if you talk to anybody who went through the process of having to find a career after school, you would find out that you really do want to stand out. Now let's get back to the initial question that you asked though, because wanting to fit in is really code for just wanting a connection with other people. And hundreds of studies that have been done on happiness and the brain and how it acts and happiness and all those sorts of things really do show that one of the very main keys to our happiness is having that connection with other people. And so that totally makes sense. So if what you're looking for is connection, then there's a few easy tips I can give you. And a lot of these, of course, come from just my own experience, but also from the books that I've read. I've read a lot of books on happiness and relationships and communication. One of the best books that's been around for a really long time, it's one of the highest selling books ever, is a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. I know it's kind of a funny title, and it is kind of an old book, and it's probably not going to be the most fun read that you've ever done if you do read it, but it's got some great information in it. And a few things in there that I can share that really do work that have been put to the test by myself and multiple people. One thing is taking an interest in others. So no matter who it is that you're talking to, if you actually take an interest in them, so you ask them questions about themselves and what they're interested in and that sort of stuff, and you're just a good listener, you'd be surprised how many of those people walk away from those communications thinking, that person was really cool, because people like to talk about themselves. So if you take an interest in others, they take an interest in you, right? And eventually it gets reciprocated, even if not that first meeting. So take an interest in others is one way to connect with people. Another way to connect is actually just to be okay with who you are. So again, that whole fitting in thing, I don't think you should ever change yourself to fit in with others, but I think you should instead be really comfortable with who you are. I could say be confident, whatever. Confident sometimes is also not exactly the right term. Yes, be confident in who you are, but people are so drawn to just that authenticity. I think being authentic, being who you are and being okay with that, that is actually more magnetic to people than any other characteristic you could try to portray with it not being 100% who you actually are. So just be yourself and be okay with that, and people will actually like you just for that. It's crazy how that works, but it's so true. And then the last thing I would say is to, instead of like finding a group and then trying to fit in with that group, it's more like do the things that you love and find the people that also love those same things, and then you like fit in without even trying, right? They're easy people to connect with when you have similar interests. I tell people the same thing when they ask me about relationships, like how do they find that right person for them? I think one of the best ways to do it is to not even really look, right? Don't be looking. Just go out and be you. Do the things you love. If you like to play tennis or golf, or you like to go to movies or book signings, or you know, whatever it is, there's so many things out there. I can't list them all. But if you're doing the things that you love, you're gonna meet other people in the process of doing those things. And there's so many groups you can join in that advent. Like I joined the meetup group for tennis here in Austin when I moved to Austin. So you can find those types of things, community groups, school groups, meetup.com groups, where other people that share those interests. And it's funny how if you actually are doing the things you're already interested in, and the people you meet who are also doing those things, it's like you fit in already. You don't even have to try if that's what you're going for. So remember, be yourself. It's good to stand out. You don't have to fit in all the time. But if you're doing things that you love, other people that are doing those same things are going to be your comrades anyway, right? There's going to be people that are really easy to connect with. Read the book if you get a chance. It really is a great book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And the next time you have a question, submit it again to askamy@amymuller.com. And I look forward to hearing from you.